Hey, thank you for joining me. This is Tangelus Oracle. So, I'm just going to get into it. The last one was long. So, I already did Clarissa, right? And now I'm coming back and I said, you know what? Since I done did Clarissa, let me go ahead and do Papoose. So, now I've done Papoose. And now I see exactly how it plays out, right? Now I see how it connects, why he connect and why they connect the way that they do. Okay. So we already discussed in Clarissa how, like, when they met, the energy that was why it was the way it was, and it's a mimicking the same energy of her father, right? That she had back in the days with the boxing when she was doing what she was doing with the boxing. Okay, that was in 2006, and the same energy then is the same energy of when she got proposed. So moving on. So with propose, so first I'm gonna kind of talk about him as a person, and then I'm gonna go into specific time frames for him with Clarissa, and then I'm just gonna touch on with him and Remy because it ain't really about Remy, but we're gonna see how it connects. Okay, so when we when we talk about Papoose, now Papoose have the same energy, and that's why I say that's why I know how they click, because and and with Remy and with Clarissa, okay, it's the same thing. So with him, he comes in, he met Remy in 2004, they got married a little while later or whatever, but he came into her life and wanted to be husband, boyfriend, whatever, for a reason because it's a benefit to him. And if we look at him and his will, it's like he he expands himself because his focus is himself. It's a self, and he's willing to sacrifice others for himself, for his benefit. So, because he's about self. And how can I better myself? How can I expand myself? By exploiting others. And exploit don't have to necessarily always be bad, but it's like I see the potential in this person and they may not see it, or if they do see it. So I see the potential in this person. So I want to connect myself with this person because this person can help me expand what I'm doing or what I want. Now, moving on. The next thing that I see with him is once again, the prosperity. And with him here is a man forcing himself on you. And it can mean that way, but it just could mean that man is forcing himself into your life. And the reason why you don't see it, and the reason why you don't see it as that is because you need healing within yourself. So, and he knows that. And so what he uses, like I said, he uses people's vulnerabilities to get what he wants. So he sees the vulnerability, especially if you're dealing with women who have some emotional scarring, who have some issues that they're dealing with, they haven't worked through. And that's why I said in Clarissa, she need to not worry about him so much and need to focus on herself. It's because she needs to heal. And he know that she has some little trauma or some issues, and that's what he uses. Okay. So anyway, going back to that, like I said, so he's putting himself in situations with women that he knows that he can benefit from. He's going to be the benefactor. And so also, he knows that, like, he may introduce you to certain things that you never experienced, give you certain things because he can do this. He can talk. He can talk his way into situations or out of situations because that's the vibe he put off, like, you know, that type of vibe. But it's always the same thing with him, and he knows that he can talk his way into these certain women, especially when they're dealing with vulnerabilities, and then he uses that same thing to manipulate. So when you get with somebody and let me make sure my thing is working because I swear mine don't. Um, Yeah, I have to check. I don't want to do nothing again. So, so when you get with somebody and that person sees the issues that you're dealing with, personal, emotional, mental, whatever, and so they come in and they be this person like, oh, this person just came in and they brought me to life and they made me see so many things within myself and all of that. And soon as they get you to where they got you, and then they start pulling back on those things, and then you always trying to get back to that part of that person that they showed you in the beginning. So now you when you got somebody who's already dealing with emotional things, that person looks at it, oh, maybe it's something that I'm not doing enough. I'm not showing them enough. So you keep striving to get that version of them that they're never going to give you. They already know what you want. So they keep you running and chasing that so they can keep getting the benefits of your trauma. Moving on. So we got that. Now also, um, like I said, is that throughout with him, and it goes back again to him bringing that emotional trauma because I see that in him with relationships, him. And he may do it financially. He may traumatize you financially. He may traumatize you emotionally. He may do both. But because it's all about him being in control. He wants that control over your money, over your emotions, because that's how he maintained his abundance through siphoning it from you. So, um, and it's another one, but I'm gonna save that for last because it's gonna tie into what I said about her earlier. So now let's talk about when he met Remy in 2004. Like I said, Remy and Clarissa have that same thing, but in different aspects that he also had. So he may have dealt with some things in his past, but instead of healing from it and trying to improve himself for it, he used it as a weapon for other people, and that's how he can recognize it with these women that he did with because he's also dealt with it, but he's turned it instead of turning it into something like okay now this has made me this type of person. He said, "Oh, now I know how to recognize it, and I see it in other people, and now I know how to weaponize that trauma." All right, so we got that with him with Remy and him with Clarissa, and now also earthly possessions and things like that with Remy as well as Clarissa. Same thing in hers as it in Clarissa's. The same thing. Now it's not exactly the same, but it's the same thing. Now, with him and Remy, did I do that? Oh, let me pause. I gotta write something down. Okay. So, with him and Remy, like I said, um, they have that same energy, but also with Remy, I'm looking at here when he met Remy, he saw something in her, and he was like, you know what, I can benefit from this. I can benefit if I get in a relationship with her because I want to keep her close. So, because I see the potential. So, I want to go ahead and grasp onto this because I already see the potential that's in here and what I can get out of it. Earthly possessions, because what Remy said when she was locked up, we went down, I don't know, but I'm just saying that's what she said, that he went through it. Okay. So, and the only way he could do that, that's why he that's why he married her when she was locked up because he know he would have full access to it as her husband. And so that meeting that like it's this happened because that happened and that happened because this. So that's what that relationship. So I'm not saying he don't care nothing about these people, but it's self over others. So with that. And the whole dynamic with that meeting is because, like I said, he wanted to use her talent and the trauma or whatever she was dealing with for his benefit. And and it's like it's some things that she ain't saying he ain't gonna say, but we are. I can look at this and say that your mouth was doing some talking that we probably might not ever know about, but you was trying to talk this woman down and trying to make her feel some type of way because you wanted to keep that control over her so you can keep benefiting off of her. And then you never going to shut up about it. You still going to be going at this, going back and forth with her for a minute because you can't take what you dished out. So it's like, dog, you can't do it this way because I had plans for it to be this way. And so since you tried to run it this way, and I need to go back and check a date, but I ain't gonna even worry about it for this purpose of this video because I want to check somebody in. Um, but you can't just do, you can't just walk out the door. So you ain't gonna be nothing without me. You ain't gonna be successful. You ain't gonna do this and you ain't gonna do that. I'm the one, this, that, and the third, because you wanted to keep somebody in a certain level of emotions to where you still had that control. Fast forward. Now let's look at when he met Clarissa. Now I already said when he met Clarissa. Okay, what was going on with that? I ain't gonna repeat it. So when we look at him, if you want to know, go back and look at this. So when you look at him with her, like I said, Clarissa is jacked up from the floor up. And what I mean, she's worse. She has dealt with more trauma than Remy, and he knows it from the way she grew up. That and the trauma from the childhood where she had to go to her grandmama's house for double, right? And like I said, she needs to heal herself from that, or she ain't gonna never be. She that will keep her from being as great as she could because she don't. If she don't heal it, if she do heal it, she can be outstanding. Now, going back to when he was with Larissa, the same thing. So it is. Um, if you go back to Clarissa, when I said people know your layout and what's going on, they know what's happening so they can maneuver. So he already know the trauma that she had. So he said, I can step in as her man. I could tell how I'm gonna be, even if he wasn't all the way going to be the man, and maybe um it got pushed out there before he was ready to do it the way he would want to do it because he wanted to play both sides. And although she was, I ain't saying she wasn't nobody, but um the things that she has now, she didn't have it back then when he first met her. So yeah, I see some stuff and I can get some stuff out of this, but that ain't my main thing that I want to be focusing on. Okay, so that's what he came in for, to be somebody that he can deal with when he want to have something on the side where he can get some whatever. I ain't even talking about no sexual stuff. I'm talking about, even though you're using that, but I'm talking about benefits, financial. All right, so if we go into when he got to deal with Salida for her, when he got it, okay, so he brought her in. So, and in that situation, that was for him, as well as her, but that was for him to get that control aspect. I know what's coming in and what's going in, and I can dominate in this arena, the situation, because I'm the one pulling everything together for you. So I'm putting myself in a position of power over you. All right. Um, yeah, so he can benefit. And then also that, because of the situation where everything came out and how that, so he said, now I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna make this benefit for us. That's why he don't never say nothing. He do certain things, but he don't never, because he's using all of that talk people do and the stuff she have to go through and why she over here online about people. He, that's his way of keeping it relevant. If you don't drama feeds it. So he was like, yeah, that's going to keep. I want that to happen. He wants that to happen because that keeps her in the spotlight. That keeps her relevant. That keep people talking, and that keeps the money coming. Okay, and so that's what he's doing, that to like change that negative situation into something good. And it's like I'm trying to use the traction of this gossipy stuff for the benefit instead of trying to make the situation settle down and be more peaceful. You you like it, and and he might be the one telling her, yeah, go say this, go say that, and then that way he can step back and act like it ain't him. But anyway, um, and I'm trying to wonder if he if he drinks, like he has a drinking problem or some drinking problem, like he likes to drink. I wonder. I don't know. Because if you do, it'll be connected with something else. Um, because I see it where it's connected. And so now, if you go back to where I talked about Clarissa in 2030, when she's 35 years old, okay, if we go back to that, and I see here, I see here, I see here that, because I said that that's her time frame to be changing some things around, right? Because it could lead to some terrible things for her. And I'm seeing how it all starts to come together. She stayed with this man. That's gonna be the end of her, basically. If she don't heal herself, it'll be the end. So, and what I'm looking at here is death surrounding the situation. And I'm not speaking death on anybody. Because that could be death in any type of way. It can be the death of your career. It can be the death of you. It can be whatever. The detriment of you. Okay. Um, but and the reason why I say, do he drink? Because remember when I said the accidents, and I can see and hear, and I see it here, and I see it here, and it's connected to that time frame of that 35 years old for her. And if it don't have to be death of her, it could be the death of her career or her success or whatever. Because he might, but anyway. So because it all circles back to somebody drinking and driving, like I said in hers, it don't even have to be you, because she claims she don't drink. It don't have to be her. It could be him driving them somewhere when they out, wherever they at, out of the state, out of the world, wherever they going. You drinking, y'all don't went out, y'all have you drinking, accident. Somebody else drinking, accident. But whatever it is, I see it in him too. If she's staying with this man and they out somewhere, that's the time frame doing the traveling, some type of traveling. The exact time frame or whenever it is, you can travel the day before, the day before that, the day before that, but it's nothing happened. We ain't worry about it. Particular time frame. I don't know what it is. I ain't trying to narrow it down. Deep done. Why? Because you staying in this situation. You ain't trying to um, heal yourself from the trauma that you had in the past. That's going to be what takes her out of here. What's going to get the best of her, whether it's an official like death or the end of it for her, the end of her success, the end of her career, because she's connected herself with lower vibrational people, like I said in hers. So, and I see him being connected to it because it's the same energy around it. Okay, she's connected herself with that lower vibrational person, that man, and he's over here at the same thing. It's the same thing. Hers has different, but it's still the same. Surrounding situations surrounding it for her, but his situation was surrounding it for him. So even though they're the same, so it's they're in the same situation, but the situation surrounding her is different because she's connected to him and she's her own person versus him. But it's the same outcome for both of them around the same time period with specific date, but the same time period. I don't even want to say. I'm not. I see the time frame, but I'm not gonna say the time frame. But yeah, she needs to cut it or heal herself. Whatever she needs to do, he needs to make the situation right. She needs to make herself right. Anyway, so that's what I see on him, and you can see how it all aligns and how he is as a person, like a user. Like I'm only gonna do what I need to do to get what I want out of you. That's what I see with him. But yeah, she need to get away from him and work on herself. But if she can my man, if she wants to, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just saying what I see. So anyway, that is Papoose. You can leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you.